see that you're wearing shorts and everything. It's cold outside. Can I see your hair? I see your hair the other day. Ethan, your hair, nice, very nice. And your messy face.
This isn't just a man who lacks experience caring for children. This is a man who doesn't care. And when it comes to caring for children, not caring is unacceptable. Notice how when we see the man at the end of the video, he doesn't have food all over his face. He's not dressed for summer and fall weather. He took the time to make sure he was taken care of. Where was that same energy for the kids? There are men who want kids simply to pass on their own seed, legacy, but they have no interest in actually taking care of said kids. And there are men who will passively go along with starting a family, even though they really have no interest in taking care of kids. So how do you know if a guy isn't just husband material, but father material? Well, one, hear how he talks about starting a family. Does he want kids or does he want to be a father? There's a difference. Someone who wants kids simply just wants to create children. That says nothing about their interest in taking care of them. Someone who wants to be a father, however, has at least presumably interest in guiding and nurturing those children and teaching them how to be good people. Because being a father, that's an active role, whereas having kids is passive. It doesn't really require a lot of effort from men. In fact, all that's required for a man to have kids is simply have sex with a woman who is fertile enough to have the child. But if a man wants to actually be a father, that means he wants to be present. That means he has lessons he wants to teach. That means he wants to, well, presumably again, that means he wants to bring human beings into the world who could better the world. So how do you determine whether the guy you're with is father material rather than a guy who simply wants to create children? The first and obvious thing is hear how he talks about the idea of starting a family. But also, you need to see how he interacts with children. That should be obvious as well. And then I would go a step further and actually babysit with him. Of course, I'd only recommend doing this after he's proven to be safe. And in fact, let's backtrack. What I meant to say before that is see how he treats you when you're sick, when you are in need of something. Pay attention to how he cares for you in your vulnerable moments, because if he is going to take care of kids, well, they're the most vulnerable population there is. Is he even willing to take care of you when you're sick? If not, well, you shouldn't be with him anymore, period. If he is, however, now you need to pay attention to how he's taking care of you. Is he moaning and groaning and acting like you're a burden? Well, you also need to leave him in that case. Is he bringing you food, but it's not food you want? That's a red flag. How he treats you when you're sick is a huge indicator of his character, because in moments when you're sick, you presumably can't do anything for him. Observing how people treat others when they have nothing to gain in the moment is really important to determine whether those people are good. And yes, even though once you're well again, he will benefit in ways he did before you were sick, some people, if they're selfish enough, they can't even suck it up for a short period of time. And if you see him exhibiting neglectful, antagonistic, unhelpful behavior while you're sick, then honestly, you shouldn't even be with him, because you're gonna likely get sick again over the course of your relationship, and even worse things are going to happen if you're together long enough. And if he can't even show up for you now, then he's no good. And so now let's move forward, assuming he's proven that he's safe and he is nurturing. Well, now I would recommend babysitting with him. Babysit your sister or your brother's kids, babysit a friend's kids who trust you. Babysit with him. Observe how he interacts with the children and how he cares for them without trying to micromanage. Obviously, if you observe him exhibiting neglectful behavior, you do want to make sure to go in after him and to take care of the kid or kids. But in the moment, as long as he's not posing a danger to the children, just observe and see what he does. See if he's willing to ask for help in circumstances in which he might not know something, or if he is just going to pretend like he knows everything even though he's doing the wrong thing. That's a huge red flag too. There are certain things that should be intuitive, whether you've cared for a child or not as an adult. Think of how you want to be treated yourself, right? So if he's not able to take care of a child's basic human needs, the same human needs that he would expect to be taken care of for him, then it's either weaponized incompetence or he's just not very smart. And lastly, never rush into having kids with a man. You need a lot of time to be able to see him in different settings, different circumstances, and with children in order to be able to vet him properly if you plan on having kids with him one day. And if you plan on being with this guy for the rest of your life, there's really no rush in having children. Because if you rush into it and you have to go away for 4 days, you might come back to children who look like they were raised by wolves.